Good morning, Wall Street winners. It is Tuesday, November the 11th, Veterans Day in the US, Remembrance Day in Canada. So, a big shout out to all of the veterans and folks that have served in the military or ancillary branches. And thank you for your service and what you've done to protect our great nations. This video is a bit of a pivot on that protection, but focus on a company who is releasing results in 7 days. And that's a company we've probably all been into, the big box store Home Depot. And Home Depot is set to announce earnings next week at this time. And there'll be concerns around their earnings from a tariff perspective because the cost of goods, obviously, for things they import, and they import a lot of goods from China, certainly on the increase, and then potential delays as well as shortages of goods because of the tariffs and the negotiations that continue to go on between the US and other countries, China as one of those countries. But one of the other factors that is impacting this out of the US administration or this administration in the US is the ICE raids. So the raids of the illegal immigrants, undocumented immigrants. ICE uses Home Depot basically as a base camp. If you've ever been to a Home Depot in the US, you'll have noticed that right on the periphery of the property, usually somewhere in the parking lot or the edge of the parking lot, in the US in particular, there's a group of people, typically undocumented folks, that are just sitting there waiting to be offered work as day laborers, doing the heavy lifting for Americans who don't want to do the work and are willing to pay someone to do that work, typically in cash because they are undocumented. And they just sit there, and it's a perfect place for ICE to just scoop them up on a daily basis. And that's exactly what they're doing. So it puts Home Depot in a bit of an interesting situation because it obviously helps with the sale of goods at Home Depot to have people willing to do the work at a fairly cheap rate right outside the door when they leave. But it is something that Home Depot doesn't want to get involved in from a corporate perspective and make a statement about, because there are two very divisive sides to that narrative, and they don't want to be caught alienating either one of those. So let's keep an eye out as to how this impacts Home Depot's results next week. Good luck in your trades. If you like the videos, please hit the like and subscribe.